Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. So now we can start the class. First of all, we go through the 282 aphorism of Organon. It would be a certain sign that the doses were altogether too large if during treatment, especially in chronic diseases, the first dose should bring forth a so-called homeopathic aggravation, that is, a marked increase of the original morbid symptoms first discovered, and in the same way, every repeated dose, however modified somewhat by shaking before its administration, that is, more highly dynamized. The rule to commence the homeopathic treatment of chronic diseases with the smallest possible doses and only gradually to augment them is subject to a notable exception in the treatment of the three great miasms while they still effloresce on the skin, that is, recently erupted itch, the untouched chancre on the sexual organs, labia, mouth or lips or so forth, and the figwarts. These not only tolerate but indeed require from the very beginning large doses of their specific remedies of ever higher and higher degrees of dynamization daily, possibly also several times daily. If this course be pursued, there is no danger to be feared, as is the case in the treatment of diseases hidden within, that the excessive dose, while it extinguishes the disease, initiates and by continuing usage possibly produces a chronic medicinal disease. During external manifestations of these three miasms, this is not the case. For from the daily progress of their treatment, it can be observed and judged to what degree the large dose withdraws the sensation of the disease from the vital principle day by day. For none of these three can be cured without giving the physician the conviction through their disappearance that there is no longer any further need of these medicines. Since diseases in general are but dynamic attacks upon the life principle and nothing material, no materia peccans as their basis, as the old school in its delusion has fabulated for 1,000 years and treated the sick accordingly to their ruin. There is also in these cases nothing material to take away, nothing to smear away, to burn, or tie or cut away, without making the patient endlessly sicker and more incurable. Chronic disease, part 1. Than he was before local treatment of these three miasms was instituted. The dynamic inimical principle exerting its influence upon the vital energy is the essence of these external signs of the inner malignant miasms that can be extinguished solely by the action of a homeopathic medicine upon the vital principle, which affects it in a similar but stronger manner, and thus extracts the sensation of internal and external spirit-like conceptual disease enemy in such a way that it no longer exists for the life principle, for the organism, and thus reveals the patient of his illness and he is cured. Experience, however, teaches that the itch plus its external manifestations as well as the chancre, together with the inner venereal miasm, can and must be cured only by means of specific medicines taken internally. But the figwarts, if they have existed for some time without treatment, have need for their perfect cure, the external application of their specific medicines as well as their internal use at the same time. Master E.K.'s translation. వైద్యము జరుగుతున్నప్పుడు ముఖ్యముగా దీర్ఘవ్యాధులలో మొదటి మోతాదునకు సారూప్యోద్రేకము కనిపించి నైసర్గిక వ్యాధి లక్షణములన్నీ తాత్కాలికముగా హెచ్చినప్పుడు తరువాత మోతాదు వాడినప్పుడల్లా హెచ్చుతున్నప్పుడు మందు పరిమాణము చాలా ఎక్కువగా ఉన్నదని గ్రహింపవలెను. So what he explains is when one dose of the remedy is administered, when the aggravation, homeopathic aggravation starts, after every dose again the aggravation continues or increases, then the doctor should understand that the quantity is more than required of the medicine in the given potency. That he should understand. So he should reduce the quantity of the medicine. He should increase the quality. That means the potency is not the potency which he has given is not sufficient for the patient. It is not similar to the patient. So the next higher potency should be given. In the cases in this footnote, he explains Hahnemann. Normally, in the previous aphorisms, he explained that after giving one dose of the medicine, you can wait for the results. After some time, you should decide whether you have to repeat or increase the potency. In that manner, he has explained. But here he explains sometimes it is needed that the indicated remedy should be given with more frequency. Sometimes it should be given in almost daily doses also in some cases. But most probably, this is possible, as Master E.K. has explained, and Hahnemann also, in these latter aphorisms, he explained, this should be followed in the millisimal scale potencies. The millisimal scale potencies can be repeated daily, one dose or two doses or three doses. Centesimal cannot be more frequently repeated, but the millisimal, 50 millisimal scale potency can be repeated. But of course, the 50 millisimal scale potency, to use the 50 millisimal scale potency, there is no perfect guidance except the guidance given by Dr. Hahnemann in his Organon. After that, there is no specific guidance how to use, in which potency we should use, for which type of symptoms, for which type of patients, which potency should be used and how many doses it should be used. Like that, there is no proper perfect guidance. As we have an approximate guidance by Kent and Elizabeth Wright for the centesimal scale potencies, how to select the potency from lower potency to higher potency depending upon the disease depth and in which plane it is the disease is. Depending upon that, we have to decide the potency. That was given in the chapter of posology. Like that, there is no perfect guidance for millisimal scale posology. Now 283. In order to work wholly according to nature, the true healing artist will prescribe the accurately chosen homeopathic medicine most suitable in all respects in so small a dose on account of this alone. For should he be misled by human weakness to employ an unsuitable medicine, the disadvantage of its wrong relation to the disease would be so small that the patient could, through his own vital powers and by means of early apposition of the correctly chosen remedy according to symptoms similarity, and this also in the smallest dose, rapidly extinguish and repair it. So after giving a remedy by mistake which is not similar to the patient and his condition. If a remedy is given, normally what we think, it should be antidoted when it is given in a wrong manner. By mistake, when the remedy is given, so it should be antidoted. And here what he explains is, if you select a second remedy which is exactly suitable to the patient, which is similar to him, that remedy itself will antidote the action of the wrongly given medicine. So that can be directly administered after this. అందువలననే రోగి స్వభావమును అనుసరించి నిపుణుడైన వైద్యుడు వీరైనంత తక్కువ పరిమాణము గల మందుతోనే వైద్యము ప్రారంభించు. మానవ సహజమైన పొరపాటున రోగికి సరిపోని మందు ప్రయోగింపబడినతో ఆ మొదటి మోతాదు తక్కువ పరిణామమైనప్పుడే రోగి ప్రాణశక్తి దానిని తిరస్కరించుట సులభము. So what Master E.K. has translated this aphorism is, when a remedy, when the doctor understands the case and perceives the case in a perfect manner, he will select the remedy in the possible similar minute form, that is more higher potency, when which is suitable to the patient to extinguish the natural disorder when it is given. But in the previous aphorism, he explained that when the given potency is lower, then the aggravation will be more. So here also, when the remedy is being selected on this manner, it will extinguish the disease. And sometimes when the potency is smaller, then sometimes the vital force itself will neutralize when the vital force is strong, it itself will neutralize the bad effects, and sometimes the next given exact remedy will neutralize. So that is organon. Now Kant's lectures on homeopathic philosophy. We are reading the lecture 11, number 11. Healthy state, how made sick, that chapter we are. When you have learned the things. The third proposition in this paragraph is that medicines will not act curatively or in a way to turn the body into order and turn off disease unless potentized to correspond to the degrees in which the man is sick, such as are sick in a middle plane or sick from that plane to the outermost, such as are sick in the interior planes and interior planes are sick throughout to the outermost. To the very outermost. When the disorder is in the very depth of the physical nature, then it is in the form of chronic disease, that is, all there is of him is sick, and of such there is no tendency to recovery but a continued progress. Such is the order of Sora, syphilis, and psychosis. In this way, in this paragraph, what he explains is the medicines will not cure the given condition, the patient, unless they are in such a way they are potentized, that the potency is similar to the condition. That means if we select a remedy, for example, the same remedy which he has given as example, sulfur he has given actually 55 m. Suppose he has selected sulfur. Instead of giving 6 m in the first instance, if he would have given in 200 potency or 30 potency, what happens? No result will be there, and sometimes there will be aggravation. So, and in a way to turn the body into order and turn off disease, unless potentized to correspond to the degrees in which the man is sick. So, in which the man is sick, that should be in that level the medicine should be potentized. For that only he first started the case with 6 m, and gradually he increased the potency to 55 m. That means there are various stages, various levels: logic and understanding, love, will, mind, like that. From physical plane to love and affections plane, there are many planes. So which remedy will act in which potency, in which level, according to that only it should be selected. For example, we come across an RMH patient. He might be having the physical symptoms. The mental symptoms are only up to the mind. It is there. His will and understanding, love and affections, they are normal. They are not yet affected. Though RMH is indicated to him, it is indicated only according to his physical symptoms, vital symptoms and mental symptoms. So in that case, if we want to start the treatment with RM metallicum, we can start with 200 or 1 m. But in the same RM metallicum patient, when another patient comes, and when his disease is more strong, more depth, that is in the plane of love and affection, then if we start the treatment with 200 means nothing will be there. The main basic point, the main basic indication of RM metallicum is the more affected, it is more affected at love and affection plane. That means the first and most love is to love oneself, to self, that he should live. Whatever be the cause, whatever may be the difficulties, how one feels, I should live. But without any difficulty, without any tension, without any apparent cause, without any real cause also, the typical RM metallicum patient, he longs to die. It is better to die. He feels like that. That means the disease is in more depth, that is in love and affections plane. So we have selected RM metallicum. But if we give only 200 or 1 m, even after taking the medicine, he will commit suicide. What is the defect? We should give RM metallicum at least in 50 m potency minimum. In that case, 50 m or cm only we have to give. Then only he will be cured from that condition. He will not commit suicide anymore. So that point here he explains. If the condition is, if the patient is more sick from the plane of the outermost, that is when the organs and tissues are more damaged, then we should understand that the case is not completely curable. So it will, he will get improvement for the time being. When the disorder is in the very depth of his physical nature, then it is in the form of chronic disease. That is, all there is of him is sick, and of such there is no tendency to recovery, but a continued progress. In that manner, in that state, what happens? The tendency to recovery is lost. So the disease will go on progressing even though we are treating. Such is the order of psora, syphilis, and psychosis. The nutritive plane is entirely in the outermost, that is, in the tissues. Assimilation goes on in the tissues. It is simply in the realm of tissues and ultimates that the crude drugs operate. They can only disturb ultimates. And the inharmonious condition is the inharmony of ultimates, the outermost plane. So the lower potencies, the crude remedies, what they will do is, they will act in this plane only. When the melody is only in the outermost. For example, he is more sick in the physical and vital planes. Then what happens? Acid fast is indicated for him. So in that case, if we give even acid fast 6 daily doses, he will get improvement. Why? Because his disease is only vital in the vital plane and physical plane. When acid fast is indicated according to his mental condition, his logic and understanding, will and love and affections, will and understanding planes, then acid fast 6 will not work. But when the vital weakness is there only in physical, according to the physical tissue changes, suppose a patient is affected with more tubercular condition of the lung or tubercular condition of the intestine. The disease is more deeper, more miasmatic. But now his weakness is due to loss of his vital fluids, and vital weakness is more. According to that, physical weakness is also more. Then also the acid fast 6 will work. Though the disease is in very deeper conditions, acid fast 6, if we give daily 3 or 4 doses or once in 3 hours, then his weakness will improve. Like that, lecithin 3x or califast 6x. In the same way, in some cases, we come across, though we are treating in a with homeopathic remedies, sometimes the patient feels more weakness, then he goes to other doctor and they will prescribe vitamins or iron tablets, then he gets very good improvement. Why? Why he did not get improvement with our medicines? Why he got the improvement with those medicines? Because we have failed to understand the case that the weakness is more in the physical plane and tissue level and vital plane. But all the way we are treating only with 200 or 1M or 10M potency. Or he is more anemic. He is not at all improving with medicines. Though we give many medicines, his anemic condition is not getting improved. Due to high anemia, there are many sufferings for him. So when iron is supplemented to him, automatically many complaints are cured. But supplementing iron is only, though it may be temporary, sometimes it is needed. When the patient is suffering with malnutrition, he is not able to absorb the iron in the food, or he is in a poor condition that he is unable to take the nutritious food, then this supplementation is needed. So that supplementation, how will it will work? On the physical plane and the tissues plane and vital plane. Then he gets improvement. Like that with medicines also, with lower potencies, sometimes in biochemic remedies or in 6 potencies or in mother tinctures, we will get good improvement. Or sometimes the chronic remedies also in lower potencies, there will be improvement. For example, in cirrhosis of liver, much ascites is formed. His abdomen is much bloated. Lycopodium is indicated for him according to the present situation, according to his mental condition, from the beginning also, and also his constitutional state is lycopodium. Mental state is lycopodium. So his drug is lycopodium. But now he is suffering more on the physical plane. In this case, if we treat him with lycopodium 200 or 1M, nothing, no change will be there. So what we have to do in that case? We should give lycopodium 6 daily doses. Lycopodium is the indicated remedy, not only for the acute condition on the physical plane. He is lucky enough that he is very much indicated in his constitution also with lycopodium. In that case, it will give much more results even though in 6 potency. If it is not his constitutional remedy, only when it is indicated according to the present situation, present acute condition, then also no doubt it will improve the condition and it will give the correct indication to another remedy, his constitutional remedy. But if lycopodium is itself a constitutional remedy to him, the improvement he gets will be more than the first patient. So lycopodium, if we give in 6 potency daily doses, he will improve. For example, China is indicated for him in that state. Chronic liver disorder, he is suffering from much weakness, more anemic condition, malabsorption. In that also, for him, if we give China 30, he will get good improvement. Or if we give some remedy like lycopodium or pulsatilla in 30 potency and daily doses, China 6 we give. If we give China 6, then he gets good improvement. Simultaneously, his vital condition will improve, his physical condition further worsening will be stopped, and slowly his vital constitutional state also gets improved. Slowly we can go to higher potency. But with inexperience in the beginning, what we think is, if we give in lower potency, the treatment will be prolonged for the patient. How long we will give? But it is not the case. When the patient's condition is similar to lower potency, we have to give lower potency only. Similarity is not only in the selection of the remedy, selection of potency also should be similar. But when the patient indicates only 6 potency, then we have to give 6 potency only. No other potency will give him relief. Once we saw a case of old lady of esophageal cancer. She was much weak. She could not take even liquids. Previously also we have discussed the case. She was unable to take even liquids. Her son brought her in on his arms, on his hands. She could not walk, she could not move, she could not sit. No remedy is exactly indicated for her in that situation. But Master saw the case only for her. In some aspects, Calotropis gigantea, Indian drug, was indicated for her. So Master started the case with Calotropis 6C potency, 6 centesimal, daily 4 doses. After 1 week, she was able to take liquids. Previously, it was also not possible. She could not swallow liquid. It was very difficult for her. Only intravenous fluids were given now and then, till that time. So after administering Calotropis 6 daily 4 doses, after 1 week, there was improvement and she was able to take some liquids, purely in liquid form. Again, after 1 week, he continued the same medicine. Again, after 1 week, there was little more improvement. Not pure liquid, but parages also she could take. After 1 month, a little she was able to walk. Previously, it was not possible since few months. Already she was declared she would die in 2 or 3 weeks. Then only her son brought her. Of course, her son was her son knew master for many years previously, but only he brought his mother when the doctors declared that she would die. Then the master said, "I will try. I cannot assure anything." So after 1 month, she could walk a little, and she could take little small quantities of solids. She could take after 1 month. The same medicine, same dosage master continued. He did not either give 30 potency of calotropis. He was not in a hurry. Because well, luckily that remedy was suited and it could hold the patient. Otherwise she would have died. Declared that she would die in 2 or 3 weeks. That might have happened. But after administering calotropis 6 by the hands of Master E.K., she could survive for 4 weeks. And also he continued. After 1 month, she could take more solids. Daily 2 times she could take her food, solid food. Liquids, of course, she could take normally. Milk she was taking, porridges, buttermilk, everything she was taking. After 3 months, for the 3 months, he continued the dosage in the same way, daily 4 doses of 6. No other medicine, no vitamins, no iron, only calotropis 6. After 3 months, she was much improved, and to the dispensary she came by walk from the gate without any support. Then she said, "Master, now I am able to take solids." After 1 month, then Master decreased the dosage from 4 doses to 3 doses. 6, only 3 doses. After 1 month, she came to Master. The son was confident that she is improving. Then he left her and he went to his job in another place, not in Visakhapatnam. So after 4 months, she asked Master, "Master, can I take some non-vegetarian food?" Master said, "If you can swallow, you can, no problem." She could take non-vegetarian food also. Till that time, she was taking only fruits, leafy vegetables and vegetables. So she could swallow, she could take non-vegetarian. After 2 months, he diminished the dose to 2 doses per day from 3. Calotropis 6, daily 2 doses. After 6 months completed, she was able to move. She could attend all her normal activities in the house. She was able to go to the market and purchase vegetables and all the things to the house. After 8 months, she was complete. Her physique was also as how she was. She could pick up. Before the attack of this disease, how her physical condition was, she could pick up to that level. Much improved physically. So after 10 months, again the son came. By that time she was only on 1 dose of calotropis 6, from 2 doses to 1 dose. And then he came, her son came. He praised Master. You gave life to my mother. Everything he said. Then Master smiled. And he said, let her live for some more time here. He came for the permission from master to take with him his mother. He said, I am unable to do the household duties because I am yet unmarried. So I want to take my mother. Then master smiled and said, let her live for some more time. So after 1.5 years, master, after repeated asking from the son and also the patient, then master accepted. Yes, so you can take her with you, but be careful. You should continue the treatment. She can take all the foods, but the treatment should not be stopped. You should not neglect about the treatment. If she gets the same condition once again, she will not survive. This is first time. All of you are lucky that she survived at this age. She was about 70 or 72 by that time. But what master has said was exactly true. When he took his mother, master gave her medicine for 1 month. Then master advised, after 1 month you contact me, I will tell how to continue the treatment. But the son has neglected. After 8 months, he brought her in the same condition on his arms, on his hands, with the same weak condition. Then prayed master, once again you give life to my mother. Said master, first time also I did not give any life to your mother, it is God's grace. But I have instructed you what to do, but you have neglected the duties towards your mother, so we cannot do anything. In 15 days, she died. So in that case, it is very serious case. Advanced cancer case. So normally with ignorance, what we expect in the beginning, with inexperience, what we expect that master will give in a higher potency, higher repeated doses, like that we have expected. But master did not give. Only 6 potency he gave, did not increase the potency because she was getting very good improvement. And in that case, almost he used calotropin 6 like a steroid. Because first he started 4 doses per day, later 3 doses. Like that he tapered. Steroid will be, in allopathy, steroid will be tapered like that. So he tapered from 4 doses to 3 doses, then for 2 doses, then 1 dose. Like that. So the potency which the patient needs, which is similar to the patient, that only will work and that only will give relief. But the son did not allow. The treatment might have continued for 2 or 3 years. Then master might have given some constitutional remedy, anti-miasmatic remedy he might have given. But the son did not give the opportunity. Of course, if the outermost of the physical is disturbed, the whole economy suffers and the body ceases to furnish a good instrument to be operated upon by the powers within. But a true disease with periods of prodrome, progress and decline or continuance cannot be implanted upon the economy except it be a dynamic cause. So when the physical tissues and physical plane is damaged by the disease, even though the innermost force wants to operate and repair, sometimes it is not possible. It will not allow because of the advanced condition. And hence necessarily man cannot be cured except by drugs attenuated until they have become smaller to the nature or quality of disease cause. So in that condition, even though the remedies are given in larger doses, nothing will be there. No action will be there. No result will be there. But the remedies should be potentized. They should be more qualitative than quantitative. Then only there will be improvement. That means more potentized, not in crude form. For example, natramur is indicated. If we give natramur in crude form, that is, what is the crude form of natramur? Common salt. So if we ask the patient to eat common salt in large doses, what happens? Bad effects will be there. So in potentized form, we have given natramur 6x. So there will be a little effect, but not much. Natramur 30, natramur 12x, natramur 30, like that, we have to think. Disease cause and the disease curing drug must be similar in nature. Unlike causes would not produce like effects. We can arrive at similar causes by studying the effects that are similar. We can arrive at similar causes by studying the effects that are similar. Then only we can understand the causes, similar causes are. In higher potencies, sometimes there will be similar. In the same way, Master has treated one complicated psoriasis case once upon a time. Master E.K. That patient was also chronic psoriasis. All over the body, it was very much thick and he was suffering in a horrible manner. Already he was treated by many homeo doctors, many allopathic doctors, Ayurvedic doctors, Unani doctors. For more than 5 years, he was being treated by all these systems. There was no improvement. Gradually, it was increasing. That patient came to Master. We had recorded the case and were anxiously observing what Master will give. This is a very horrible case. He is suffering very much. His skin is horrible. We are unable to see him in that state. So what will be the remedy Master is going to give? In which potency? Because in whatever may be the potency we give, there might be any aggravation which he will not be able to tolerate. Already it is in highest peak level. So all the thing everything was studied by Master. The remedies probable in homeopathy were completely used. Luckily, he got the list of the medicines which were given by the previous homeopathic doctors. From 30 to cm potency, many remedies are being used. Petroleum, graphite, silesia, everything. Sornam. Then Master started the case with only silesia 3x. His constitution was silesia constitution, luckily. So he started the case with silesia 3x, daily 3 doses. In the beginning, we were much disappointed because we were expecting that Master will give a big dose, a constitutional remedy in a big dose like that. But according to our surprise, he started getting improvement with the 3x only, silesia 3x only. After 1 month, there was a little improvement. He was able to bear the suffering. Previously, he was unable to bear. Even by applying external ointments, he could not bear. So there was, at least he could bear the suffering. After 1 month, taking 1 month silesia 3x, daily 3 doses. Then Master continued. After 1 month, the thickness of the psoriasis a little better. Again, he continued for 1 month. Like that, for 6 months, he was only on silesia 3x, daily 3 doses. No other medicine, nothing was there. There was very good improvement. All the layers were dropped off. The skin, for the first time, everybody could see his skin, normal skin, after long time, long years. So after 6 months, he increased the potency from 3x to 6x, silesia 6x. So on Silesia 6x daily 3 doses. Again he was maintained for 3 to 4 months. After that, master gave Silesia 12x. After 12 months of the treatment, he was completely cured. Only with Silesia, that also 3x, 6x and 12x, no other remedy was given, because every remedy which was given previously in potencies, every time he was much aggravated, much worse. So how we have to, after seeing that case, we were very much surprised. So with only Silesia, 3x, 6x and 12x, he was completely cured. After 1 year, there was no reappearance of the symptoms. Then master advised, you can stop the treatment, and if there is any reappearance of symptoms, immediately you come to me. Don't try any other medicines. And after worsening on coming over here means that is very bad. So luckily you are completely free from the disease. So if there is any relapse, again directly you come to us. You don't use any other medicine in any system. We can arrive at similar causes by studying the effects that are similar. When we examine into a case and find a certain group of symptoms, and in the effects produced by a certain drug, we see like symptoms, we have a right to presume that the quality or nature in both is similar. In the case of disease and in the given drug, the causes must be similar if the effects are similar in nature and quality. Not only the effects and the final symptoms that should be similar, the cause also should be similar. When the physician goes to the bedside, he asks himself, do I know a remedy that has produced upon a healthy man symptoms like these? Then only he can select the similar remedy. He must pass judgment upon these symptoms. He must be an artist in application and capable of discerning the finer shades of difference and similitude. Now we go through the lesser writings of Kent. The making of a man. Next chapter. Truth is a two-edged sword. Truth is a two-edged sword. Information that may be used for the good of mankind may be used also for selfish ends. In the former, it elevates the user. In the latter, it destroys him. See how he explains. In the former, it elevates the user. In the latter, it destroys him. If he uses for selfish ends. We see the evidence of this in every profession, in every business, in the artist, the doctor, the lawyer, the merchant, and the politician. So everywhere we can go through this type of behavior. We have only to study faces to be convinced. The face of the homeopathic physician who was used the great homeopathic truth for the good of man has a benign expression, while he who has first counted on what it will bring in cash, has a crafty face, which the children shun. In either case, he smiles if successful. But if he fails, we shall see accentuated the two casts of expression. One reveals patience, and the other deep lines of disappointment and hatred. When he practices homeopathy for the benefit of mankind, for the service of mankind, that is one thing. To earn cash, that is one thing. So that he explains. So both may get success. Both will smile with success. But the smile is the facial expression of both of them is one reveals patience, happiness, patience. So everybody will be happy to see him, to go to him. And the other deep lines of disappointment and hatred. He will not be contented with what he got. More he expects. So disappointment. What he expected, that if he did not get, he will get disappointment. With that face will be there. It is important to know how it is that truth can become a power to change the faces of men. Truth is so powerful that it will elevate him who uses it for the good of man and degrade him who uses it against his fellow. So it itself, the truth, how we use that, in that way, whether we will be elevated or degraded, that the truth will decide in which way we are using. It carries with it a penalty for falsifying it or using it for improper purposes. When one listens to a great truth, he says to himself that the truth should be known to the world or that it can be used to increase wealth. First of all, he should question himself and he should judge himself whether in which way he should use, in which way he should apply. Truth first enters the memory and may go no farther and soon may be lost, or it may be admitted into the understanding and flow through it into the voluntary and then into life. This is the course intended by divine providence whenever he gives truth to man. So when the omnipresence, he gives truth to man, how it flows, that he is explaining. First it enters his memory, and later it flows the voluntary, the understanding, and then voluntary systems. It is that he shall use it for the common good and not for himself. Whenever man perverts this, he destroys himself. No exemption will be there. But when he carries out the purpose of the truth, he becomes wise. The highest aim of man is to become wise, and the only way to attain wisdom is to do for the good of others. Then only he will grow wise, and then only he will get the wisdom. Otherwise, nothing will be there. If he will not apply this for the good of other, the fellow beings or other mankind or other creatures or to the world, then no wisdom will be there. Truth first enters the mind by the way of the memory. There it is inspected by the understanding, and it is settled upon whether it is true or false or detrimental. If it is approved, the understanding admits it into the middle chamber where it is treasured for use. When homeopathic truth is thus admitted, The healing artist waits for an opportunity to confirm it. Finally, the patient comes, and the truth is called forth. The law and doctrines there treasured are called upon, used, and confirmed to be true. The homeopathy, when we study or when we go through the doctrine of homeopathy, the truth, it will be lodged in our memory and it will be there like a treasure. When we apply, then only we can know it is true. Yes, it is true. It is once again proved. The patient recovers and is grateful to his doctor. The doctor is delighted and smiles. He shows forth upon the face his innermost feelings. A tear comes to his eye and he says, blessed be Hanuman, blessed be the Lord. See how he is very much humble and submitted to Hanuman and God. Huh? Huh? A tear comes to his eye and he says, blessed be Hanuman, blessed be the Lord. Complete submission. Now the lesser writings of Hanuman. Though they are called lesser writings, they are not lesser. Greater writings. On making the body hardy, that chapter we are going through. If it be supposed that there are peculiar varieties of the human species, that would be to make a great mistake. They have come from their mother's womb, as delicate and soft as any of ourselves. All these people, however, give their children no other education but their own example. They abandon them to their own will until they have attained a good age. The young creature at first creeps on all floors after his father as far as he can, in heat and cold, and creeps home again when he can go no farther. This he does day after day until he can bear it better and go farther. No one forces him. He turns back again when he has had enough, but he is always acted on by that most powerful of all agents in education, the imitative faculty, the desire to act as like his father as possible. This is a stimulus that will not easily induce him to do anything that might endanger his life, because he can unrestrainedly attend to his sensations of pain and of his own free will return to a place of security. The stronger of the children of these people, their young offspring know not the pleasure of mischief as ours do. Assist the weaker, pull them out of the snow, fetch them away from the burning sand desert, or rescue them by swimming when they fall into the water, and thus the child learns gradually, but only gradually, be it observed, to endure as much as his father can. So how he learns? That he is very wonderfully explaining. The objection might fairly be made to what I have said, that this kind of gradual accustoming to heat and cold and so forth is not applicable to our education and to our mode of living. This objection is a fair one, I repeat, but only partially so true. The father and the mother among us cannot become uh, Samojadis or Ethiopians, but the teacher of the children, be he a pleasant, a schoolmaster, or a tutor, must have brought this kind of hardening process to a certain degree of perfection in his own person. He ought to have several children at once under his superintendence for the purpose of exciting emulation among them. Here it is much worse on the part of the teacher to err on the side of doing too much than too little. He may leave it to the free will of the children to inure themselves. He does it before them. They imitate him, each according to his strength, and none must be forced to overstep the latter. So how the parents should behave with the children, how they should teach, how they should not force, how they should limit them slowly, that he is explaining. The teacher cannot put himself in the situation of the boy, cannot enter thoroughly into his feelings. Consequently, the boy must be allowed to draw back when he wishes to do so. He will rather have sometimes to keep him back, for imitation is often too powerful a spur. It is best that the exercises should be carried on in the presence of the pupils only, without any other spectator, for then all present would be animated by the same mind. So the teacher and the pupils should be there. And all these will be like-minded in the same way, in the same chapter, in the same education, in the same line. Then only it will not get disturbed. But to send one's children with bare feet, head, chest, and arms through the crowded streets of a town, accompanied by a well-clothed tutor, amid the jeers of the boys in the street and the audible expressions of compassion from the windows, would be to turn to ridicule an affair of great seriousness, and to inspire the children with an invisible repugnance to the hardening system generally. When the children have played long enough in their ordinary clothing in the cold or in the heat, and if they have advanced so far as to be able in such guise to bear both extremes readily, we may proceed to diminish the amount of their clothing somewhat and by degrees, and even allow them to go with sundry parts of their person uncovered when they are alone. But this should not be done in the in the severest winters, severest winters. For the bodies of children will not be able to stand so much cold. There is besides no possible case when their being habituated to it would be necessary. Even beggar children find rags to put their feet in when they have no shoes. And we, and we should only seek to prepare our children for the positions in which they may chance to be placed. Clinical Materia Medica by Farrington. We are reading EPIS. Now there are several remedies similar to EPIS in diphtheria. One of them is arsenic. Arsenic is indicated, as you might expect, is rather in rather severe cases of diphtheria when the throat is very much swollen inside and outside. The membrane has a dark hue and there is great fetor, very much bad smell. There is a thin excoriating discharge from the nose. The throat is edematous just as it is in EPIS. The patient is restless, especially after midnight. The urine is scanty and the bowels are either constipated or else there is an offensive watery diarrhea. In still other cases, when despite the dark purplish hue of the throat and the marked swelling and great prostration, there is not much pain, natrum arsenicosum is the remedy. Here also the uvula is infiltrated with fluid. Still another remedy is Kali permanganacum. This remedy, which is seldom used in hypotensives, is indicated when the throat inside and outside is swollen and edematous. The breath is horribly offensive and a thin discharge issues from the nose. The great characteristic is extreme fetor. EPIS causes an irritation of the mucous lining of the larynx and trachea and also soreness in the chest walls. It has been found most useful when laryngeal symptoms accompany erysipelas, edema of the throat, glottis or larynx, or suppression of eruptions, less often in simple laryngitis or laryngeal catarrh. Difficult breathing and especially the unique symptom, he does not see how he can get another breath, has led to the successful employment of the drug in hydrothorax, hydropericardium, edema pulmonum and asthma. That is more water accumulation. The lancinating, darting pains, palpitation, orthopnea, etc. render EPIS valuable in cardiac inflammations and dropsy. The essential symptoms seem to be edema or sudden mucus swelling, dyspnea, sudden lancinating or stinging pains, restlessness and anxiety. Compare lachesis, arsenic, sulfur, belladonna, calicarb, spigelia, digitalis, asparagus and apocyonum cannabinum. Arsenic and EPIS have many resemblances. So apparently alike are the restlessness, changing of place and dyspnea that one remedy is often given when the other should be. The best distinction lies in the fidgety restlessness peculiar to EPIS. If dropsy obtains, both may be needed in pale, tensely swollen limbs, but EPIS often has redness, itching, or an erysipelatous condition present, as well as thirstlessness. Belladonna is too often mistaken for EPIS in laryngeal affections. The latter has more edematous swelling with consequent dyspnea, the former more spasmodic constriction. In cardiac affections, arsenic, apocyonum, digitalis, and asparagus bear some similarity to EPIS, especially in great debility and dropsy. Apocyonum is needed when the pulse is small and weak, the heartbeat irregular, now weak, now stronger, and there is sinking at the epigastrium. Asparagus suits in the aged with weak pulse and pain about the left acromion. Digitalis causes a duffy appearance of the skin. The pulse is slow or weak, quickening with every bodily movement, and a gone, deathly sick feeling develops in the epigastrium soon after eating. The cough of EPIS is frequently encountered in cases where this remedy is needed. It resembles more or less lachesis, carbovage, rumex, belladonna, chamomilla, crotalus horridus, nux vomica, bryonia, ignitia, arsenic, and hyoscyamus. Lachesis, nux vomica, bryonia, hyoscyamus agree in adherent mucus. But lachesis has intolerance of touch, even of clothing, about the neck, a symptom not marked in Apis except with the sense of suffocation. Rumex has a teasing, persistent cough aggravated by cool air or by anything which increases the volume or rapidity of the inspired air. Chamomilla differs mentally. Nux vomica cures cough from adherent mucus high up in the trachea, but there is a rough, scraped feeling in the throat. Bryonia adds epigastric irritation to the suprasternal, and the pains in the trachea and chest walls are sharp, stitching as well as bruised, aching. Ignitia induces a nervous cough, and the more the patient coughs, the more annoying is the irritation. Arsenic causes more a burning, tickling referred to the suprasternal fossa. But since it so often concurs with Apis, it should be compared with the latter, especially when the cough accompanies dropsy, heart disease, etc. Belladonna may be misapplied for Apis, but can be distinguished by its greater constriction of the throat and deeper inflammatory redness. Carbovage agree in hoarseness, rawness, and tickling cough, but the irritation is as from vapor of sulfur. Kant's Materia Medica. Kant's lectures on Materia Medica, we are reading Calcarea silicata. One suggestion not there. Chronic irritation of the air passages దగ్గర నుంచి కూడా చదవాలి చూడండి అక్కడి నుంచేనా distension of the abdomen after eating. Yes, naturally after eating distension will be there for almost everybody. Huh? It is not common, but in some people it will be uncommon. Their abdomen will be soft even after eating, much eating. Dropsy of the abdomen, enlarged liver, flatulence with much rumbling and fullness. The abdomen is very hard, the liver is hard, inflammation of the peritoneum, sensation of movements in the abdomen from flatus, pain morning and night, pain before menses, pain in right hypochondrium, pain in liver and in the inguinal region. The pains are burning, cramping, cutting, pressing, stitching, tearing, twisting, stitching pains insides of abdomen and in liver. Marked tension in abdomen, tympanic abdomen, extreme constipation with inactivity of the rectum, difficult stool, paralyzed feeling in rectum, constriction of anus, constipation with dry stool, hard, knotty, large and soft, light colored, with much straining. Diarrhea painless, with stool copious, lientric, offensive, even putrid, sour, pasty, thin and watery. Dysentery with bloody, scanty stools. Copious, offensive flatus. It has cured fistula in anus. Itching and crawling of anus. Hemorrhoids protrude during stool. Sore to touch. Worse when walking. Bleeding from rectum and anus with stool. Itching after stool. Moisture about the anus. Pain during and after stool. Burning during and after stool. Pains are pressing, stitching and tearing. Marked soreness of anus. Paralyzed feeling in rectum. stricture of the rectum not allowing feces to pass larger than a pencil was cured. Tenesmus, much urging to stool, urging during stool, ineffectual urging. Tenesmus of bladder and retention of urine, pressing pain in the bladder, catarrh of the bladder with much mucus in the urine, urging to urinate at night, worse moving about, better lying, sudden urging, ineffectual urging, frequent urination during the night, involuntary urination during the night and sleep, unsatisfactory urination. The urine is scanty. The prostate gland is enlarged and tender. Emission of prostatic fluid when straining to pass stool. Urethral discharge purulent, greenish yellow, cutting and burning urination. It has cured stricture of the urethra. The urine is copious, later scanty, red, cloudy, burning, containing mucus with sediment, purulent and scanty. It has sandy, purulent and sandy. It has cured diabetes mellitus. Erection at night without thought or dreams. Eruptions on the genitals of the male, on the prepuce. It has cured hydrocele and induration of testis. Marked redness of glans penis. Itching of glans penis and scrotum. Stitching pain in penis. Foul smell on the male genitals. Sweat on the scrotum, seminal emissions, sexual passion increased, sexual desire storing without erection, strong without erection, swollen testis. In the female, the desire is increased, eruptions on the vulva with much itching, heaviness of the uterus and prolapses, leukorrhea excoriating bloody, copious before and after menses, milky, white or purulent and yellow or yellowish green. Menstrual flow acrid, bright red, copious, too soon, protracted or scanty. Menstrual flow absent or suppressed, painful and irregular. Flow of blood between the menstrual periods. Pain in the uterus, aching, burning, labor-like and tearing. Soreness in the genitals. Ulceration of labia, vagina and os uteri. Chronic irritation of the air passages, larynx and trachea, catarrh of larynx and trachea with copious yellow-green mucus, rawness in the larynx and trachea, phthisis of the larynx. He constantly scrapes the larynx, tickling in the larynx and trachea, respiration fast, asthmatic, deep, difficult during a cough and when lying, rattling, short, sighing and suffocative. It is one of our greatest cough remedies in tricycle subjects. The cough comes at night, but also morning after rising and in the evening in bed. Cough from cold air, from cold damp air, asthmatic, from cold drinks. It has a dry cough at night, with much expectoration in the morning. Cough during fever, hacking, hoarse cough, cough from irritation of the larynx and trachea, hoarse cough, especially in the morning, paroxysmal spasmodic cough, in the evening, racking the whole body. Cough worse lying, talking, virulent cough after waking in the morning. Because this calcarea, actually calcarea is, basically calcarea is sensitive to cold and silicea also sensitive to cold. So the whole remedy. Expectoration in the morning, bloody, greenish yellow, copious, offensive, purulent, thick, viscid, sometimes white. It has cured abscess of lungs and axilla. It has restrained cancerous ulcerations of mammae. It has cured desperate cases of catarrh of the bronchial tubes, constriction of chest, eruption of chest, and excoriation of the nipples, hemorrhage of the lungs, chronic inflammation of the bronchial tubes and lungs, oppression of the chest, the milk is suppressed or absent, pain in both lungs, pain in chest during a cough or inspiration and deep breathing, pain in the sides of chest, the pains in the chest are burning, pressing, soreness, stitching and rawness in the chest, stitching pains are inspiring insides of chest, and in the mammary glands, palpitation of heart at night, after eating, from exertion, and even from slight motion. Perspiration all over the chest. Physical conditions, extreme weakness of chest. The back feels cold, and in these instances, sometimes, for example, in physical cases, we cannot give silesia directly. When there is phthisis, tuberculosis is there, silesia we cannot give. Silesia, heparsol, phosphorus, sulfur. So in those cases, when that remedy is indicated, what we have to do? Suppose phosphorus is indicated. Only phosphorus we have to give in that case. Then what we can do? If we give phosphorus, the patient will collapse. So the combination we can give acid phos, we can give calcarea phos, we can give like that. In the same way, when silesia is indicated, we cannot give silesia directly. Like this calcarea silicata. The back feels cold. In the same way, sulfur also. So when sulfur is indicated, you cannot give sulfur directly. Huh? So we can give heparsol also we cannot give. How can we give tuberculosis? Calcarea sulf may be given, but most probably Kali sulf we can give safely. Sulfur iodatum we can give safely. When there are symptoms of sulfur and iodatum also, we can give sulfur iode. In tuberculosis advanced cases also. Kali sulf is also safe.
Related symptoms, but he has a rod and already E.V.M patient.
So this is the class for today. Thank you all. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्याय्येन मार्गेण महिमैषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः वासुदेव